Back to the drawing board, hey Wayne?
Drawing board's looking pretty full, Rich.
I know. Really enjoyed doing this. We've really appreciated all the support. We'd love to continue doing this for you guys. Please take the time right now to like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification button if you want to see when our new videos are going to come out over the summer. We're gonna bring you videos through the off season. All right, so I mean, we gotta do this, man. We made a commitment.
Yeah.
Before we even continue, okay, I want to say this to you on camera. Okay. I want to thank you first and foremost for believing in what I said. I know it wasn't the outcome that I predicted, but we got to a game 7.
Pretty damn close.
It was pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you for the belief in doing this. And for this, not only for the Edmonton Oilers, but for this channel, the future looks bright. So thank you.
Thank
Wayne.
you for having me.
And we also want to thank quickly some people that helped us put this together. So just quickly speaking, we want to thank Sean, we want to thank Fred, and we want to thank Soom Sneed. Thank you guys so much for helping put this together for us. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So thanks again. And
doesn't happen without you guys. Thank you.
That's 100%.
And the boys at Shatified for keeping us looking good.
The boys at Shatified, yes. Thank you so much.
We don't just wake up looking this. Beards don't just happen by accident.
Big supporters. And a big shout out to Brian for hooking us up with all the rezos and all the watch parties that we were a part of. Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Boots.
But I guess we got to face the music now and get to this episode.
Hey.
So
it's going to be tough. Won't be easy, but we hold our heads up high. Why? Because we're Oiler fans.
Yeah, we are Oiler fans.
We're
nothing but class. Wayne, Game 7 is overdone with. We had a night to sleep.
Yeah.
We're recording now the next day.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Game 7?
Thoughts on Game 7? It boiled down to, I mean, what is it? It was a difference of one shot, right? I mean, it's one shot. I sat here and said that the Oilers were gonna come and take it, and you can't stop a moving bullet train. I fully acknowledge that, but we ran into a wall. The Florida Panthers, give them tons of credit. They played their defensive structure perfectly. Going back to the way they used to play it in Game 2 and 3, kind of, and it worked. It worked again. We couldn't penetrate that wall again, right? So. Bullet train came to a screeching halt. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. Do we want to say we gave it we had our great chances? Yeah, we had a few looks, but we just didn't bury when we had our opportunities, and when we did, also Bobrovsky made a few great stops, and it came down to it could have been anybody's game. Could have been anyone's game. It wasn't meant to be for Oiler fans, but Florida, congratulations. You guys won it, playing your game, and you had home ice advantage. That definitely helped.
Do you want to know my thoughts?
Yeah, I do. Please do.
So not looking at anything but Game 7, because it's a winner-take-all, which for the Stanley Cup Finals doesn't happen too often, where it comes down to one game to win the cup.
Yeah.
But just looking at that game, Wayne, I really didn't see the Oilers that we saw building up to that game. We're not going to sit here and make excuses about injuries and this and that, but because Florida probably is dealing with injuries as well. I will say that the ice was a major factor in that game. I've never ever seen McDavid fall that many times in a game. But again, we're not going to make excuses. The game itself, like you said, came down to one shot, a 1-goal game. I think if the Oilers would have tied that game up, the difference would have been, us not coming home right after the game and losing our minds. We would have been getting home right now. So That's just it. That's just it with hockey sometimes. And you know what? You just got to take it on the chin and be happy that we've gained all this experience. And there's not much more we can say. So I tried everything I could to not be nervous.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. But when I saw Connor McDavid go on the ice, I said, that's my boy. I've watched this guy grow up, and I will follow him wherever. And it gave me the sheer will to put my nervousness behind and watch that game.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't summarize an Oiler fan for you, for how many times we've got to just, follow our leader wherever it may end up.
Yeah.
That should summarize Oiler fans in general, and we will not give up on this team. We will never give up on this team.
McDavid was the best player. Florida was the best team. There it is. I mean,
on to the scoring summary.
There we go.
First period.
Yes.
Carter Verhaeghe.
Yes. Just after we killed a penalty.
Massive tip-in. Evan Rodriguez makes the pass from the boards, and he makes it a 1-0 game, 4:27 into the first period.
Huge for Florida. Scoring first.
Massive.
They can kind of assert their game plan.
So we need to break this goal down, because I have never in my life, ever. You're in a game 7. You're in a game 7 that you clawed back being down 0-3. All right? You are in a game 7. Okay, Ryan McLeod? Do you hear me? You're in a game 7. Okay, now Editor Heesh, please do me a favor. Please. And show his line of his skates when he's coming up. He should be going directly at his body. All right? And look at his positioning here. He's 5 feet away from the guy. He doesn't even have a line of sight with his skates towards him. He's cheating. He's swiping his stick from far away. And Evan Rodriguez gets that shot on goal. It shouldn't have even happened. It should have either hit him, or he should have made body contact, and that puck would have went somewhere else, Wayne. I'm sorry. I've been saying it the whole playoffs. He finishes the game a -2 on 2 goals. I know the second minus, he just came over the bench. But regardless, you finish the game at -2. And that goal, the most important goal for this entire playoffs, was strictly because you do not want to make body contact. Now, I don't know how many more chances you're going to get to finally realize that you have to make body contact at some point. But I'm telling you right now, the Florida Panthers do not have one player on their team that does the amount of flybys that Ryan McLeod does. All right? It's unbelievable. I'm too devastated right now to...
How was Verhaeghe wide open right in front, too? Like, yeah, it was a great deflection. Give him props for that. It was excellent. Right between Skinner's legs, no chance. But how is he all alone in front there? Like, give me where...
It's all too similar, Wayne. It's all too similar. It's the same two culprits. Every time there has to be something negative that happens to the Oilers, okay? Ryan McLeod finishes -2, and Warren Foegele finishes a -2. Warren Foegele takes that penalty in the first period, okay? And they got hemmed in their zone, buddy, and they couldn't get the puck out, and it's all because of, at the end of the day, you got to play smart, you got to be focused. If you are incapable of being focused in a Stanley Cup Final Game 7, okay, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win. So, like I said, whatever team it is, whatever team you cheer for, doesn't matter who it is. You can cheer for the damn Columbus Blue Jackets if that's your team. I don't care. But if you get to a Stanley Cup Final and you have one player on your team, forget about 2, but one player on your team that's going to keep doing flybys in a game damn 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals after being down 0-3, and you can't make the mental commitment to focus and bear down and make a body check or block a shot and take a puck, I'm sorry. You're not going to win. So you have to have that as part of your formula to win. and it's just not going to happen. That's it. Sorry. Moving on. Janmark gets sprung with an unbelievable pass from
Beautiful pass.
Mr. Game 7 himself,
Wow.
Cece. I mean, this guy comes up in big
Beautiful
moments.
pass.
Unbelievable pass. Springs Janmark, rips down wide, cuts in front,
Buries
and
it.
buries it. Makes it a 1-1 game. And just like you said, Wayne, I'm going to allow you to continue. But that answering so quick kind of nullified the fact that they scored first. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that. I thought we were okay. Thankfully, it didn't take long for us to respond, and I thought we were good at that point, and we were good at that point. Janmark ties it. Great shot, excellent pass, and here we are going into the second, tied 1-1.
Going into the second, 15-11. I'm going to let you take this one because you weren't too happy with this one. But from Verhaeghe again, ends up on the score sheet again for the second time. Makes a pass out to Reinhart, who
Just Sam Reinhart. Just Sam Reinhart. Who scores this?
Who skates untouched from his own zone, and unfortunately makes a weak wrist shot, gets by Skinner, and it's a 2-1 game.
You could have put a truck around a circle radius. Sam Reinhart coming in from his own zone once he receives that pass, coming into our zone to the dot. You could have literally had a circle with the radius the size of a truck around him, and you wouldn't have found an Oiler. He's allowed to skate from his own zone in a tied hockey game. Again, to stress, Game 7, any Game 7, let alone the Stanley Cup Final, to win the cup. Nobody puts a body on him. Nobody even comes close. Nobody even decides to just, hey, let's just get in front of him and block his line of sight at least. No, he's allowed to skate from his own zone, past our blue line. Oh, still nobody's touching me. I'll just go in a little further. Gets to the circle and takes short side shot on Skinner. Yeah, he should have stopped that. But what's Kulak doing moving in the middle there? I mean, look, Kulak's played great this playoffs. Nothing bad to say about him. But this play, makes the wrong read. And he leaves his man. Instead of stepping up on his guy, leaves his man, creeps into the middle, which gives Reinhart even more room. And we're talking about pretty much a 60-goal scorer here. Coming in, untouched, takes a shot on your goalie. Like, how are these mistakes
And
allowed
he wasn't
to happen?
even going like full throttle. He was
he's taking a leisurely skate.
Yeah,
It's like,
leisurely.
he's coming
stroll
in.
at the park. He's going in. I agree with you. Kulak had to step up there. He had Cece as well, covering the other guy breaking in, and
Bad read, bad play. Those are two goals, major mistakes by the Oilers.
That's it.
And that's
And
pretty
that's
much
your that's your season.
That's it. Draisaitl being allowed to skate from our own blue line in a straight line, pretty much straight line, into the opposing team's zone and getting a free shot on goal. Can you imagine how?
Doesn't happen.
Can you
Doesn't
imagine
happen. It
him
only
doing
happens
that?
to the Oilers.
We don't-
It only
we
happens
don't.
to the Oilers. This is the hardest franchise. I'm telling you guys, the ups and downs. Anybody that's watching this that might not be a Oiler fan, I'm telling you right now, it's hard to compare other professional sports franchises, even in other leagues that are not hockey, that have had to deal with the ups and downs. Like, it's crazy. Like, we come back down from 0-3. Like, Wayne.
It's all right.
Oh, it's unreal. Just to fall
That's-
flat in the last game and make these costly errors. I don't know.
Wasn't meant to be.
We're used to it. It wasn't meant to be. I will say that, the 0-6 loss in Game 7 was a lot more crushing to me.
Was it?
Yeah, to
Really?
me it was. Than this loss was.
Really?
And
Not for me.
For me it was, and I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you that 0-6 team,
Yeah.
that team was put together strictly based around the fact that we had Chris Pronger, all right? We had a hot goalie.
Yeah.
We had Chris Pronger, and we were the 8th seed going in. There was no, you're a contender, none of this stuff was.
So you're saying because there's no expectations on us.
Well, and
at that point,
pretty much the entire Oilers fan base knew that this team that they've assembled was not going to be together for a very long time. And right after, it was basically...
You're talking the 06 team.
Talking the 06 team.
Yeah.
It was disassembled.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it. That was our one shot to get a cup, like, just out of nowhere. Didn't happen. But I will tell you, the difference now is there is a lot of hope. There is a lot of bright lights. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, there's a big difference because this team is this core, and you're adding in some of these new younger players into it. I'm telling you, the difference is, the Oilers are going to be relevant for sure for the next 7 to 10 years. I'm telling you, flat out.
Anytime you have a team with McDavid and Draisaitl, it's relevant.
So based on that, we lost, and it was devastating. Obviously, in a game 7, we had so much planned. Hey, we had so much planned, so much celebrating planned, but we didn't talk about it. But we both had so much celebrating planned. And I'm sitting here the next day on X, and I'm seeing the Florida Panthers just walking in the street like nothing's wrong. They're hoisting the cup, and there's 10 people there. There's 10 people, fans there. They're walking. There's nobody around them. You think that if the Oilers today are walking down White Avenue with the cup, there's not going to be 100,000 people attacking them? You think if the Montreal Canadiens win the cup and they're walking the next day, strolling around, and there's not going to be 100,000 people around them? Come on. Even in Philly, even in most of these, it's just, that's what makes this so hard. That's what makes this so hard. But our day is going to come. And when it does, everyone's going to see it. So,
you know where I think there will be fans? When Barkov takes that cup to Finland.
Oh.
I think they would appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think they appreciate it.
Well, they've told me on the comments that you can't win without a Finn. So
congratulations to Alexander Barkov.
Line is available.
And the rest of the Finns on Florida's team, and to all of the great supporters from Finland. You guys have it's the first captain to ever lead his team to a Stanley Cup.
Finnish, 100%.
Finnish captain. Congratulations.
Let's just make this clear. Every player gets the cup for a day. Okay. So the Stanley Cup's going to be in Finland 4 times for sure. Just based on that. So enjoy it. You guys deserve it.
Absolutely.
But don't forget your NHL roots, where they came from. Okay.
Let's talk about the strides the Oilers took. So, okay, I've been hearing a lot of people say, hey, well, you can't win. Defense beats offense, and, you can't win without defense, championships. We agree with that. We're not arguing with that. I think you need both, personally. But I believe the Oilers are a defensive structured team. We definitely need to improve based on what we just showed you in the highlights there. We got to improve our overall defensive game. But we can't say that the Oilers didn't take huge strides on becoming way better defensively this team. Credit to the coaching staff, Knobloch and his staff for that. Excellent job. But we got to take a few more steps to, I think, overcome this massive elusive cup than McDavid's career. And I think we will. But huge props for the steps we've taken. Doesn't feel any better saying that, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Now, did the ice? We already talked about it a little bit, but did the ice seem bad to you? The ice seemed
brutal,
right?
It's brutal.
Right? Do you think that was done on purpose by any chance? Hey,
it's plus 40 in Florida right now. It's plus 40. Okay.
Somebody's saying, hey,
there's nobody walking around the fans right now, because I'll tell you why. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Panthers fans. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I get happy. Truly, I get happy when a team that's never won the cup wins the cup. Believe me. It's been 30 years of waiting, and I'm sure there's some diehard fans from the Van Beesbrook days that have been waiting for this moment, and you got it. Congratulations. But it had to happen against the Oilers. You know, it had to. But whatever. But you've won the cup. Okay? Now, I don't know. You have so many other things to do there. You have the beach. You have the ocean. You have the NFL. You have the Heat, the Miami Heat. You have the Marlins. You have college football. You have it all. All right? And that is why there's 10 people walking around the entire Panthers core that's carrying the cup around on one of your streets. It doesn't make sense to me. It's odd. It's weird. But we can't change back time. It is what it is. It wasn't meant to be. Congratulations. But I'm sorry. There should be at least, like if just throwing out a number out there at a bare minimum, there should be at least 5,000 people if you're walking around the next day with the Stanley Cup on the street. Come on. If you think in Toronto, okay, if they ever won the cup, if you think that in Toronto that the players the next day are gonna go waltz around what's that street they're called? Young Street with the cup with their shirts off, and there's gonna be 5 players around them? Are you kidding me? They're gonna have to call in the National Guard to protect the players from being mobbed. Come on, it's just.
Speaking of Toronto, did Drake made a bet on the Oilers, did he not?
Yeah, he did.
To win the cup?
Yeah, 500.
Drake, please stay away from our team, bro. Like, man, you don't really have the great. I love your music, but you don't really have the greatest luck making these bets from the ones I've heard anyway. So next year, please stay away from our team, man.
Wow, it's unbelievable. First of all, how unprepared we are for this episode because we were so upset. It wasn't the same vibe, but I'm glad you bring up Drake because I have to bring something else up.
What are we gonna talk
Okay, first of all, I love Drake. First of all, Drake's music to me. What he's done in his career for hip-hop, I'm just going to say this on camera and whatever. I know this is a hockey show, but it would be the equivalent to a Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup 10 years in a row. That's what he's done for hip-hop. Okay, we're going to just leave that.
Yeah.
But Drake is a huge supporter of the Toronto Raptors, right?
Yes.
And the one thing, Wayne, that I noticed right away, man, those are some damn ugly championship hats that Fanatics came up with for the Florida Panthers. You want to see a championship hat? I have one for you here.
Oh, God.
Untouched, unworn. Okay? Look at that. When the Raps took it down, that is a championship hat. All right? Sean, please put a picture of the Florida Panthers championship hat. It looks like it was designed to be some sort of hat that's sold at a gas station for $5. It's the ugliest hat I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? Maybe that was why.
Are you a little bitter?
You know, buddy, if we won that championship, if we won that Game 7, we won that. You know what? I'm going to put this here because I love the Raptors. I'm going to put this on our shelf.
All right.
And we're going to aspire to have an Oilers championship hat like that. I don't want that gas station hat. What is that? What is that hat? Come on. What is that? Come on. Anybody that loves ball caps and wearing ball caps that's watching this, please, there's a picture up right now. Just pretend there's a picture. Look at this hat. Look at this hat. So, I mean, one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is buying the championship baseball cap when the Oilers win the cup. That's one of the things I'm looking to rep hard. And I'm sorry, but that hat is just brutal.
When are we getting this hat?
I knew that was going to be the next song.
When are we getting this hat? We've learned a lot of lessons.
How do we transition into this?
We've learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard road. Oilers faithful, I know more than anybody. Look what I did. Look what we did. We've been dedicating 6-7 hours of time per episode because of how much we love this team. We love them. And we want it. And we want the Oilers faithful. Doesn't matter if you live in Edmonton or not. We know there's fans everywhere that love this team and love this logo. Okay? Love this logo. Now, I'm telling you right now. We're going to get into this Okay? It's been tough. It's been
We
hard.
wouldn't trade it for the world, though.
It's been tough. It's been hard. But guess what? Nothing good in life comes easy. And I'm telling you right now, Wayne, the future looks super bright.
Oh, we're ready.
So
yeah.
we are now going to get into one specific player that was a glimmer of light in the darkest of times.
Your boy Broberg.
Philip Broberg played unbelievable. And there's no replacing a championship. No way. No way. No way. You guys in Florida, you appreciate that thing. You honor that thing, okay? Because there's nothing.
It's
like a
not easy to
Stanley Cup.
get, as we've proven.
But let me tell you something.
What's that, Rich?
Philip Broberg,
Yes, you've talked about him.
10 games played,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Gets thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
Can't say enough about him.
Gets partnered up, all people. Darnell Nurse. All right?
Yeah.
The only thing Darnell Nurse let in was minuses. All right? Philip Broberg played 10 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, just under 16 minutes of ice time with a +6. 22 years old, just turned 23 today. He was born today. And I'm telling you, if Philip Broberg, from what I saw, because the only thing I watched after that game yesterday was I rewatched every single shift of Philip Broberg, and I'm telling you, we got something here. I will take
At least that.
the only consolation prize as an Oiler fan we will accept to losing the Stanley Cup again in Game 7
Is hope.
is if Philip Broberg becomes who he was touted to be, which was a combination of, get this, Nicholas Lidstrom and Victor Hedman. Okay?
God.
And Victor Hedman was asked about Broberg when he was coming into the league, and he already admitted he's a better skater than I am. If Philip Broberg becomes the stud Swede D-man, we're not talking about no names here. We're talking about a guy being compared to Nicholas Lidstrom, who by himself, forget about everybody else, is the main reason the Detroit Red Wings had playoffs every single year and multiple championships. It's Nicholas Lidstrom. So, and you're going to add Victor Hedman mix into that? I'm telling you, if this guy...
Future's bright for him.
Well,
Absolutely.
buddy, I'm telling you, you know who he's going to take out of number one? If
Yeah.
this light, this glimmer that I saw actually comes to fruition,
Yeah.
he becomes your number one D-man.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Ekholm drops down, which completely solidifies your defense, and that going in from one end to the other with no untouched does not happen.
Yeah.
You think Lidstrom's gonna let that happen?
It's the little plays. Well.
So, I mean, as upset and devastated as I am, as upset that I didn't get to light those cigars. Did I tell you I bought cigars?
Just, you know what?
I didn't tell you.
Put
but
them
I
in the
bought
humidor
cigars
and save them for next year. It's
know,
all good. It's all good.
Bought cigars for nothing.
We're a resilient group. We wait. It's all good. Good things come to those who wait.
I'm telling you right here, right now.
Son.
If Philip Broberg becomes what he was touted to be before he was drafted, an 8th overall pick, all right? The future is extremely bright because guess what? On top of that, and you said it, Wayne, defense wins championships. So now we have a goalie in his second year that faced 4 straight elimination games in the Stanley Cup Final and won 3 of them, all right?
Yeah.
So goaltending to me is not an issue anymore because, like I said before, confidence is half the battle with the goaltending. He's got it under his
to you,
belt.
Skinner.
Major props to you, Skinner. Major props. Second, Bouchard had his coming out party. Bouchard's legit. Yeah, he's got defensive, sometimes when he makes a mistake, it really, really shows, but he more than makes up for it with his offense. And he was in the conversation for the Conn Smythe. He was.
Yeah.
So, major goals this guy scored. Not assists. Major goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So you got him, you got your goalie, and now if Broberg comes, Do we even need to bring up McDavid and Draisaitl? The future looks bright. So that's what I have to say on that, especially in that decade of darkness. And for many year streaks for the Oilers.
We got to go
is
back
just missing when you miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's very hard for a fan base to like not even be at the dance, right?
Yeah.
Not even be invited to the dance.
Right.
So I mean, the Edmonton Oilers, with what they have right now, and they, add a few pieces into this, but just with what they have right now, you can safely say, knock on wood, that the Oilers have a minimum of 7 to 10 years straight of making the playoffs. Do you agree? Making the playoffs. Just making the playoffs.
Sure, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't... To me, we have higher goals than that.
No, but as a fan base,
if we just...
one of the hardest things is missing
not even
playoffs.
Having a chance at it.
Yeah, missing year after year. You're missing the playoffs, missing the playoffs,
No,
missing
I got
the playoffs.
you.
Like, it's hard, man. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep cheering for a team that keeps missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, finally, I think from this point and I'm not talking squeaking in and last second squeaking in. I want a team where 3/4 of the way through the season,
we're a contender.
3/4 of the way into the season, the Oilers are in the playoffs. Like, it's not even a discussion. You know what I mean? That's what I want. And I like I said, if we are gonna take any silver lining out of
we're reaching though.
Second Stanley Cup Final appearance in 34 years, both times losing in Game 7. What are you gonna take out of that? What silver lining can you take out of that? Is there's going to be a lot of playoff hockey. Who is, now that everything is said and done, who is your stud of the entire playoffs for the Edmonton
overall as a whole playoffs?
Yeah, just playoffs.
Well, I mean, can you say anyone? I mean, yeah, I can make a case for anyone other than McDavid, but McDavid was the best player in the playoffs overall. But look, I'm not gonna say if we're gonna give it to one, you have to give it to McDavid. He got the most points.
You have to give it to one.
You have to give it to McDavid. However, huge shot. We're not even here in the finals talking about a Game 7 if it wasn't for Draisaitl's heroics against the Vancouver Canucks and Nuge as well in that series. Shout out to you guys. If Skinner doesn't have a bounce back performances and takes back the net and dominates the way he did, especially here in these finals and every elimination game before that, he's right up there. You mentioned Broberg and the steps he took. I thought Ekholm was a beast all playoffs too. Defensively, he's just a, like, as you call him, Thor. He's absolutely
smart guy too, man.
Stud.
He's a smart guy. He knows how to talk.
I mean, it's just hard to pick one when you're talking about 2 months of work here, because I mean, as all you fans know, it takes
64 days.
Was it that long?
64 days.
It might as well have been a year. It felt like a year.
I know.
I mean,
64 days.
I mean, we need like a week to sleep.
Yeah, 64 days.
But
just to be left at the end of it with
hard
a giant bowl of nothing.
Nah.
But
hey,
we did it, man. We made our commitment. So anybody that, one thing we want to tell any of our viewers, especially any of our younger viewers, we're trying not to swear so you guys can be part of this. But when you make a commitment to something and you complete it, because we had no idea getting into this how much actual time it was going to take.
And who the hell are we?
No,
we're just regular guys just talking.
We're nobodies,
right?
but
we want to be that. We're representing the people.
I'm telling you, man, it was a lot of time and effort to do this. Yeah. And you know what? We should be happy. We actually completed the task.
We didn't back down even on those days where it sucked and we had to come here and talk about a loss like it is today. We said we were going to do something and we finished it. So, and we're not done, by the way. We want to continue making, like we mentioned before, we want to continue making content for you guys. Hopefully you guys stick around and follow us, and we will. We're going to come up. Now we get a little bit more freedom on what we get to talk about.
We got some practice too.
Yeah.
We got some practice. Yeah. We got to make some upgrades on a few things, but
we'll invest a little bit into the channel.
At the end of the day, You know, it was a long road. It was hard. We did it. We did it for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. And like I said, the future looks bright. So we want to quickly, if you
want to thank you guys as well. Thank you very much for the support all along these playoffs.
The viewers, the views that we got, the subscribers, the everything.
Even the comments, the negative comments too. Hit us if you guys don't talk shit about us or talk. Bring it. We love it.
We got a lot of them.
We want to interact.
We got a lot of them. You want to going back? All of you, everyone that was along for the ride, thank you so much. And everyone that was involved in this, thank you so much. Especially you, buddy.
No,
and like I said, we got a lot to look forward to.
Who's your stud of the playoffs? If you had to pick one guy.
Oh my God!
I mean, let's leave McDavid out of it.
I mean,
let's leave McDavid.
No, I don't want to leave McDavid out of it because
you know what?
He's my stud of the playoffs.
Okay.
He's my stud of the playoffs. He's the stud of this team. He's
have
the
like
stud
a-
of everything.
do you
He's
have
the
like-
best player, most advanced hockey player ever created. He's unbelievable. Connor McDavid, you are definitely my stud of the 2024 entire playoffs, and I am so heartbroken you didn't get that moment. But you are going to get that moment. And don't think for 1 second that any of us stopped believing in you. We know what you're going to do. And it's coming. All right? It's coming. So, yeah, definitely.
Thank you for all the memories.
It's definitely him. It's definitely him by a long shot. I don't know. Did you mention Nugent Hopkins at all?
Oh, yeah, a little bit for the Vancouver series, yeah.
Like Nugent Hopkins, just overall,
Yeah.
he's had this stigma of not kind of showing up in the playoffs and all this. And wow,
He broke that this year.
Unbelievable leadership.
Yeah.
Unbelievable leadership from you. You know, that Vancouver series, that we would not have had the result we had if it wasn't for your performance. So unbelievable. We can thank this entire Oiler team, I think, for a lot of their contributions, right? But I did want to mention Nuge because of, you know, all those dark years. He's been on the team for 13 years, buddy, right? He went through a lot of hard times.
Well, he was drafted.
For him to get to this point, he signs a very team-friendly contract.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're going to get your moment too, bud. You're going to get your moment. So yeah, it was a wild ride, and like I said, this is not the last you're gonna hear of the Edmonton Oilers. That's 100 billion%.
Oh God, no.
100 billion%. So I think we've covered.
Small shout out to Ekholm's beard too, by the way. I think he had.
I think we're gonna do.
Did anyone have a better beard?
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do.
Oh, I'm talking all teams.
No. We're gonna do a whole segment on the best playoff beards.
Okay.
For the Edmonton Oilers.
All right.
Okay. We're gonna do like our top 5 playoff beards. Okay. Because.
Oh, he's my number one.
One of the I know this is gonna sound weird, but I've always wanted to see what McDavid's gonna look like if he won the cup. What his beard was gonna look like, and it's like we got to Game 7.
Yeah.
So we pretty much saw it. He looked good. He looked good. He looked like a lion roaring, and I loved it. And you know what, man, Enrique had a nice one going too, though.
Enrique looked good.
So that's gonna bring us to the end of this gut-wrenching episode.
This one was hard.
Yeah, it was tough.
Hey, we made it through.
It's tough, but
we made it through. Sun came up today.
But again, look. So you know, make a comment. You know, be nice. Okay, we know we lost Game 7,
or not.
But like I said, if there's something you guys want to see, make a note of it in the comments. So yeah, thank you to everyone. It was a wild ride. Definitely. And that's all I got to say. You got any closing comments you'd like to make, Wayner?
I think we covered most of it, but yeah, just again, a thank you to everyone.
Most of it, but not all of it, because we're missing one last thing. The most important thing.
We still doing that?
We're still doing that to the end.
Yeah.
To the end.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Most importantly,
go Oilers, go.
Frozen or hockey, the challenge we need. Oilers on the ice, unstoppable speed. Chasing the cup, we're gonna succeed. With mcdavid leading, we're built to exceed. Fans in the stands, the roar of the crowd. Oilers pride, we shout it out loud. Through highs and lows, we stand tall. Frozen or hockey, answering the call.